Welcome back to Endangered Species Spotlight. This week we are talking about the jellyfish tree. This is the jellyfish tree, named as such because its fruit look like little upside-down jellyfish. It is native to the Seychelles Islands in Africa, and it was actually thought to be extinct until the 1970s, because no specimens have been observed for almost 70 years up until that point. That was until a few healthy populations were found on Mahé Island within the Seychelles. So, while no longer classified as extinct, they are still critically endangered. Mature trees are only found in a few scattered locations throughout Mahé Island, but 3 of them are within a national park located on that island, so they are protected in that area. Now, jellyfish tree conservation is very tricky because as of right now, it seems that these trees are unable to germinate in the wild, where they're found. Which is usually the opposite with conservation. Usually it can't breed in captivity. Since the rediscovery of this plant, there has been no seedlings or baby plants or immature plants or anything that have been found on this island, weirdly enough. But samples taken and reproduced in captivity would germinate and would grow, which is very strange and usually not at all what happens. So it's thought that there was kind of a change in humidity in the area because when seedlings did successfully germinate in captivity, it was when it was super humid in the greenhouses in other areas. So it's thought that out in the wild on Mahé Island, there's just not enough humidity for them to successfully germinate. So this is a good and bad thing that they can germinate successfully in captivity. It's a good thing because it would be quite easy to establish a captive breeding program, but a bad thing because they can't really sustain it in the wild. If there's not enough humidity for them to germinate, then it's not really any viable way to get them to reproduce on their own, and they would be fully reliant on captive breeding until they either evolved to be able to reproduce in a less humid environment. Evolved to be able to reproduce in a less humid environment, or the humidity changes and it gets more humid on the island, or they go extinct. One of the 3 options. So despite the issues they have in the wild though, it is very good that there was a population rediscovered after almost 70 years of being thought extinct, and it is good that they are viable to reproduce in captivity.